Lastly, speaking of mind-blowing things, I can't even believe this is happening with Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers filmed this movie called Batgirl. Okay, there's this big push to have women superheroes. You see it from Marvel, and DC's trying to catch up all the time with Marvel rather than shelving a lot of this stuff, starting from scratch and actually creating a 10-year plan, pretty much like what Marvel does with Kevin Feige, creates and maneuvers all these puzzle pieces, has them in place already, and then starts going to work. For some reason, DC's not doing that. They're just making the 28th Batman movie and going, oh, well, we're going to start over again. Well, there's this Batgirl, and Warner Brothers Discovery will not release it either theatrically or even on HBO Max. TheWrap has learned the $90 million project is effectively dead. Folks, they're going to lose upwards of like $100 million on this, like literally lose. It's gone on this. They're not making any money. Quote, the decision to not release Batgirl reflects our leadership's strategic shift as it relates to the DC universe and HBO Max. Leslie Grace is an incredibly talented actor, and this decision is not a reflection of her performance. We are incredibly grateful to the filmmakers of Batgirl and Scoob, Holiday Haunt, and their respective casts, and who we hope to collaborate with everyone again in the near future. This comes from Warner Brothers Pictures spokesperson. Made under a previous regime, Batgirl was initially designed to be an HBO Max release, and then was being considered for theatrical distribution due to COVID issues and the shutdowns. The budget ballooned to $90 million. The movie stars in The Heights break star Leslie Grace in the title role of Barbara Gordon. The leaders of the studio determined ultimately, in spite of reshoots and increased budget, that the movie simply did not work, according to insiders. We're hearing, not just from insiders, but like screeners, that this was just abysmal. Like up there with, in terms of how bad, up there with how bad Miss Marvel is supposedly going to be. Like Marvel themselves, Marvel Studios of Disney, is losing their crap as well because they keep pushing this whole women's agenda thing where you need to let it happen naturally. And look, not a lot of people are really into women superheroes. I have nothing against it. I actually, personally, I liked the Marvel movies in terms of, her name's slipping my mind, Brie Larson. Brie Larson, I really enjoyed her movie. I don't agree with her political stuff at all, but I thought it was natural. I thought it made sense. I actually really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people that didn't. So it's not that I'm against like a woman being a lead or a woman being like a superhero by any means. I loved WandaVision. You know, you think you get my point. You get my point. I'm going to move on with it. Them pushing this whole thing sometimes doesn't work because you push it so hard and you're pushing it so fast that it just doesn't appease because you create a stupid story that probably doesn't make sense, that's pushing some sort of probably LGBTQ plus agenda that people are so tired of, and now you got to shelve it and lose roughly $90 to $100 million. Bad Boys for Life filmmaking duo directed Batgirl. The film also starred Michael Keaton as Cape Crusader Bruce Wayne / Batman. Last month, you got these directors having great notices for directing the first 2 episodes of Marvel Studios' Miss Marvel. Now you see the connection. So, the Bad Boys for Life, who directed Batgirl, there was praise going to the first 2 episodes of Marvel Studios' Miss Marvel. And Miss Marvel, not so hot. Not so hot. The Marvels, which will have Miss Marvel and Brie Larson in it, as well as some other person, that's the one that got terrible ratings. Okay, terrible ratings. Accordingly to the Hollywood Reporter, Warner's has also decided to shelve animated feature Scoob, Holiday Haunt, which had a budget in the range of $40 million. Batgirl made her debut in Batman mythos 50 years ago as Barbara Gordon, the daughter of Gotham City Police Commissioner Jim Gordon. Filming initially took place in Scotland from November 2021 to March 2022 and was in post-production. A spokesperson for the studio had no comment. A representative for Grace had no immediate comment as well. Look, you feel bad for this actress because this could, I don't want to say the word blacklist, but this could shelve her as well. When you have a movie that is so bad that doesn't even you can't even put on your streaming services? Like, what? I mean, you're not really paying money. You're just putting it out there for people to see. I mean, they're not even going with that. So how bad does it have to be where you're like, we're not even going to show anybody this thing? That's how bad it is. So Warner Brothers takes a massive hit between that, right? Even if we lowball it, say 90 million plus the 40, right? You're looking at $130 million loss that you're not going to make up. That's gone, that you just threw out the door. And you're going to see Marvel here over at Disney, kind of not necessarily in the same realm, because they're going to definitely push the movie out. But like I said, the Marvels got some seriously bad ratings. And my theory of it is not only are they pushing the LGBTQ plus agenda, but they're pushing this, pro woman, that women can just, beat anybody's asses, all these things. Again, I know it's a superhero movie, but some of the stuff is just, it's silly that they do. We saw it with Star Wars, with the little Leia somehow outpacing and outrunning 4 grown adults. Okay, so there's some stuff out there that they're pushing and peddling that's just a little bit of nonsense happening with everything. Well, there you have it, folks. That is all the news I have for you today. There's a bunch of other stuff. If anything catches my eye, I will be sure just to upload a separate video. So if you see something coming out that's different, that's mostly because I want to talk about it at that moment in time. As always, show us some love here at the Bald Brad Show by hitting that like and subscribe button. Really, folks, if you're listening on any of the podcast services, just take a moment to leave us a lovely review. Give it some time. We are trying to grow here, and your help is just a small way that you can contribute to the cause of getting conservative thought out there to new viewers that haven't heard our content, seen our channel, or our podcast. So like I said, your love, support, and help would be greatly appreciated. With that being said, folks, I will see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.